this is Module 5-1, Korean to English sentences. We're already at Module 5. So we're going to translate 20 sentences here, and let's see if we can go through these a little bit faster. Notice and see for yourself if you're translating it a bit faster. And in this module, I really want to be careful of different types of words. So how can we make this sound the most simple, direct, and with the most purpose as possible while keeping it business? So let's get started right away with one. Number 1. 주문품을 내일 우편으로 보내주시거나 야간 특급 트럭으로 배달해 주세요. So it's a pretty simple sentence, this one. So what are they asking us to do? They're asking us to please 뭐 해주세요? Please 뭐를 보내주세요. So you can use send. Send what? Send the order. Send the order. How? 우편. 우편으로. 우편 we can use here by mail or by post. Remember I did by in the previous module. By you can also use through, right? Because sending, it's a journey to get to me. So through mail or through post. 이렇게 해주거나 or by what? Or by. So if you're going to use by here, then you should use by. If you're going to use through, then you should also use through. So let's keep it the same. Or by overnight delivery. Overnight delivery. And we also say in English, express delivery. So I didn't include one word here. I didn't include the word truck. Okay, why? Because the truck is not important in this sentence, right? Does it have to be the truck? No, they're saying it just has to be express or delivery, express or overnight. So it's got to be out tomorrow. If you're going to be late, then send it by express. But it doesn't have to be by truck. It could be by motorcycle, it could be by car, it could be by helicopter. We don't care. The point is to send it. So here we have our sentence. Now we just need when. By tomorrow. Okay, so let's look at this sentence. Is there anything that you see wrong, or is there anything that you see a little bit awkward? Please send the order by mail or by overnight delivery by tomorrow. By. So it's not wrong, the grammar is not wrong, but how can we make it sound a little better? Well, we can just use through, because we can use through the exact same way, right? So please send the order through mail, and we can link through with this, so we don't have to write it again. It could be through mail or express delivery by tomorrow, and that sounds a lot better. Number 2, 저는 물려받은 재산을 쓰느라 바쁜데 반해 스티브는 푼 돈까지 모두 저축한다. Okay, so there's a couple of words. 물려받은 재산을. How can we say this? This we can make it as a noun. It's called an inheritance. Okay? Inheritance. So if it's someone's inheritance, so for example, this is John's, right? So we have to make it John's inheritance. Or if it's his for him to keep, his for him to use, we have to use it like that. We can't just say John is busy spending inheritance. It has to be whose. Okay, so let's try making this sentence together. Okay, so John is our subject. John은 뭐 하느라 바빠? Busy. 쓰느라. To spend, right? Okay, so I think I did this in the very first module for Useful English. What's the one thing we have to memorize after busy? 뭐 하느라 바쁘면 it's always busy and then verb ing. So John is busy spending inheritance. And as I said, it's a noun, but whose inheritance? It's his inheritance. It's not just anybody's. So John is busy spending his inheritance. 반해, so it means on the other hand, or while, 그동안. So John은 이거 하는 동안, Steve은 이거 하고 있다. Or you could say on the other hand. On the other hand, so this is a phrase that we use in English. Kind of means opposite, or if you look on the other side, right? If you look on Steve's side. So you can use the word while, or on the other hand. Okay, now just subject, verb, object. Steve, what is Steve doing? So I said on the other hand and while, which means they both have to be happening at the same time. So one can't be past and one can't be ing. So we need to say while Steve is, same structure because it's while or on the other hand. They're happening at the same time. While Steve is saving what? All inheritance. Okay, but all, and I said we have to make it possessive, so all his inheritance. Or you could say all of his inheritance, or just while Steve is saving all of his. Because we already mentioned inheritance in the right above, right? Not even in a different sentence, in the same sentence. So John is busy spending his inheritance while Steve is saving all of his. Or John is busy spending his inheritance. On the other hand, Steve is saving all of his inheritance. Number 3. 상사는 우리가 이번 주에 할당량을 초과할 것이라 확신했기 때문에 기뻐했다. So here we have our simple because sentence. Okay, so we can use because or we can use since. 뭐 때문에 기뻐했다. So the difference with since and because is really how you start. What part of the sentence are you going to start with? With since, we can start with what it is first. Okay? So since, who's the subject? The subject is our boss. 상사가, since our boss knew. 확실했다, right? So he confirmed it. He feels as though he knows. Since our boss knew, but it hasn't happened yet, right? He's 100% sure in his mind, but there's no evidence yet. So we need to use will in the future form would be would. Since our boss knew we would 넘어간다, right? 넘어가 the quota, exceed the quota. Okay, which quota? This week. Okay, so since our boss knew we would exceed the quota this week, so this is the reason. This is the reason. And now what is the cause? What's the result? He is happy. All right? Okay, so happy, it's a pretty, elementary word with some other better words we could use. He is happy. He is delighted. He is extremely satisfied. So we think with boss in a business setting, they don't show many feelings, right? They don't show many feelings of happiness. Even if you do a good job, they're just like, yeah, not bad, 만족하다, right? Not great, but not bad. It's just, at the right level. So this is sort of a nice way, or this is sort of a less feeling way to say very happy. Okay, so bosses will say, yes, I'm extremely satisfied. That means, they're very happy about your work, but they don't want to sound so unprofessional. So let's try it with because. So with our because structure, what do we have to do? We have to say the result first. Okay, so the end. What's the end result? What's the conclusion first? Because, and then we need to put why or the cause. All right, so what's the end result here? He is extremely satisfied. Who is he? So never start a sentence with he, she, they, if it shows who they are. Okay, if the name is never in the sentence, then it doesn't matter. But don't put like he, who is the boss. No, you can just put the boss, right? So our boss is extremely satisfied. Okay, now we need to use because. Now because why? Subject, verb, object. He knew